Hello everyone and welcome to my Coloring Corner. Today we are going to be doing brute funer skin tones, and we're going to do a dark skin tone and we're going to do a fantasy skin tone, and I think we may do one other skin tone lesson using these two pictures here for the Faber-Castells, and then that will be it for the skin tones. Um, I know that it has been a long, long journey when it comes to skin tones. So, because I've been trying to do it with several different brands of pencils to give you the best options for what you have available um, in your arsenal, basically. So we're using the Brute Funer squares. This is number 63. Which, if you have the English version, is called Purple Blue Salad. No, that's the original. So sorry. Um, that's just not right. Crushed grape. So purple blue salad or crushed grape. Both are the same color, number 63. And we're going to start by going into our darker areas where our shadows are going to be. Now, this is going to be a dark skin tone. This is not going to be a light skin tone, so I'm using a darker violet gray pencil. So that is why we're using something a little bit darker than the other violet color that we used before. And we're just going to come down. Now, another reason why I'm using this template and not the template that I used before is because after we finish with the skin tones, I want to start working on hair. And I really like the hair on this template. Now, this is a template I created, well, I downloaded, I shouldn't say I created, but I downloaded from Canva, which is the uh, program that I use for my swatch charts and that sort of thing. I cannot draw, so these are not hand drawn by me. They may be hand drawn by somebody, but not me. Just saying. Um, Canva, because I do subscribe to them and I do pay a yearly fee, allows me to use these products and templates for my own use. Now, this will be listed below the video for you to use. And please do not, sell it and that sort of thing. If you want to do the tutorial with somebody else and want somebody else to be able to download it, you can, or share it with somebody else, you can definitely do that. But, of course, it is not meant for resale value and that sort of thing. All these disclaimers that we have to give. All right, and just coming down through her nose. And under her eyes. And under her chin here as well. Just coming through doing all of the skin areas with the shadow. Now we have her bone structure here. So this is where it comes down off of your neck into your chest. I do not know the name of that, but there is a dent there. And she's quite petite, so it's smaller than mine, or deeper than mine, one or the other. I think mine's all filled up with chub. All right, and then we're just going to come down with a very thin line on this side, because this side is where the light's coming at her. This side here has a lot more shadow from her hair as well as the floral barrette that's in her hair. So, all right, so there is our medium tones, like our shadow tones. So that's our medium gray color. And now we're going to come in with a little bit more of a darker purple. We're going to come in with number 19. And we're going to come deep into those shadows with that number 19. And it's like, why are you using deep purples? Well, as you know, skin tones do have a lot of different colors built into them. One of the calmers, um, so I can't, I'm trying to explain it so that without using all the big words because I don't know all the big words. But there is different colors that you use with your browns and your reds and that sort of thing that tone those colors down a little bit and blend them together into what you want it to be. And purple is one of those colors. Another color is green, both of which will calm the darker tones down so that it doesn't look like you're just coloring a deep brown or a deep black surface. This does also make the blacks a little bit darker or the browns a little bit darker because of the dark color. All right, and then down here and here a little bit. Now, as you can see, I'm not covering the whole areas that I've put that shadow in. I'm just coming into the deepest parts of those shadows with the darker purple. All right, so the first one that we are putting down is number 63. And the second one, and I'm just putting the numbers underneath with a little tiny swatch of what the color is. The second one is number 19. All right, now we're going to put in our lightest colors. I know we've gone from our darkest, now we're going into our lightest. And the reason for that is because we want to be able to build into the colors that we're putting down. So we're going to start with um, that one and a little bit of this one, I think. Yeah. And then we're going to use this one. So we're going to start off with this one here, which is Grape Shake, which is number 17. So the new ones will be called Grape Shake. And this is going to come all the way out from that purple. Now these are base layers. These are not our final color. These are our blending colors, our highlight colors. And I'm just coming in, defining her shadow area there, joining into the shadow areas here. Basically, I'm just creating the neutral space between her shadow and her highlight. Now I have not done a dark skin tone on with the Brute Funers in quite some time. I do believe I've done one. So this is a trial and error type situation. So if you find that you're not trusting the process and you want to use less of the purple tones, you of course are welcome to do so. Um, the purple tones I do find give us that base to build into. Now I'm using, let's put this number down before I forget, number 17. Now I'm using number 71. And I'm bringing all those colors together a little bit here. And then after this color, we'll start adding the browns and yellow colors. Like I said, this first layer is just our base. Gives us where our highlights are going to be, where our shadows are going to be, and where our neutral areas are going to be. All right. And then down here as well. I'm using a really light hand. I'm not pressing hard into the layers at all. If you press too hard, you're going to end up with a area on your page that the darker colors aren't going to come into. So there is our base. Now we're going to go into some of our darker colors. So we're going to start with number 22. Number 21 and 24, I think. 24 and so we've got 22, 24, and 21. I think maybe not 21. Let's make sure that's the right order on the back here. So. Yeah, 21. Now 21 is a bit of a red tone. So that's what we're going to start with. It's one of the lightest tones. No, number 22 is. So let's start with number 22, which is one of our lighter colors. And we're just going to go all the way in. Actually, let's start with our darkest color just because I don't want to cover up the shadow that I've already put in. And I'm not sure how much this is going to take. So we're going to go with our darkest color first because I want to be able to tone down that darker color with the red tone. So this is number 24, which is roasted coffee. And we're just going to stick close to the deepest shadow areas. blending those colors together. And I forgot her ears. I forgot her ears. Now I know this is probably not looking the best yet, but trust the process. There is always going to be an area of time while you're coloring, especially a skin tone, where you go, okay, that just does not look right. I have them all the time. But if you trust the process, you can build that color and work through it. Just come down here off of her forehead. I turn the page slightly here. And as you can see, where I've got that purple, it's a darker brown than the areas that I don't have that purple. And that's just because the purple is blending into that brown, creating a darker brown, which is what we want. All right. And what this is going to give us is a much deeper skin tone, a darker skin tone than the tan tone. The tan tone, we use those tanny colors, which gave us a good tan colored skin, but it doesn't help us when we're trying to color the Native or the African American um, palettes. Again, I know it doesn't look right yet. Don't freak out. Just go with the flow. It will be fine once we get all of the colors on and blended together. All right, and we're going to come down this cheek here as well, just a little bit. All right, so then we're going to use this one as our darkest, and that is number 24. Now the next color we're going to use is number 21. What are they? What's the other? 21 and 22. So there's number 22. Number 22 is a little bit more orange. I might actually change that one out. We'll see. So we're going to use number 21 next, which has more of a red undertone. I start coming out into the neutral area. Now if you want this to be lighter than I have it, you can definitely bring your lighter tone in and calm that down with a bit of yellow and that sort of thing. I'm not going to do that quite yet. I'm going to use a cream here in just a little while to bring that highlight in after I use the last color. Now what the highlight color will do, the yellow, is it will give me the ability to work with the neutral tones here. It neutralizes it. That's what it is. The yellows neutralize the purples a little bit, so we're not getting a dark highlight. But we're still getting a good dark skin tone. And again, this is just the first layer. I have left plenty of tooth on the page so that if we need to come back through with any of the darker colors or any of the lighter colors, we have that ability. Or with any other colors. If I decide this is looking too red, we can come back through with a darker brown. Okay. And then we're going to use number 22 and we'll see how this does. Like I said, I think this might be a little bit too red. I might have to go with a different brown, but we'll see. Now I'm going right over top of all the other colors, blending them all together. And if this is too red, I can come back through with a darker brown and just calm it down. And then we're just going to come back through a little bit with the number 24 and very lightly go over it, just calming and toning down that red. All right. Just coming out a little bit, just evening out the skin a little bit. Making sure those darker areas are I don't think I came down off her neck with this one here. Now we're going to come in with number 69. Okay, I have to come in with a little bit tannier color. Number 20. Before we come in with number 69, we're going to use number 20. Which is not the color I wanted, but that's okay. We'll fix it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to do the whole area with number 20. With number 21. Number 21. So don't use the yellow and don't use the tanned. It did not do well with this combination. But I'm just putting a very loose layer in the highlight area. And then we're going to come through with our peach tone. And we're going to blend that a little bit. So I think I've almost reached the capacity of this paper. So definitely do not use these two, which is number 20 and number 69, as of yet. I did not like the way that looked. And normally I would use those for the highlight areas, but with this set of pencils, with the type of colors that are in here, I think they're too red for that. So instead we're just going to take number 21, and we're just going to come through and do a light layer everywhere. Now we've done a heavier layer over here and with the darker color. But in the highlight areas, we want that to be lighter. And then we're going to take our darker color, which is number 24. We're going to go back through, make sure that our dark areas are still dark. join all those colors up. All right, and then we're going to take our number 71. I may need to sharpen this. I need to sharpen number 71. So I might shake a little. All right. And we're on the final stretch here. And as you can see, those colors are blending together and giving us that skin tone. I'm going to turn slightly here. So I'm working from dark to light, bring in those darker colors into that lighter area. All right, we need number 22. Actually, wasn't number 22. Oopsie, I used the wrong one. And down through here as well. I did not come through here with this one. All right, then we're going to dust that off. Now, as you can see, the upper forehead here where I use those yellow colors isn't as nice as I would want it to be, and that's because I used a brown yellow and I didn't want to do that. So what I want to use is number 90. And let's see if we can tone down some of that. And blend those peach tones a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to take our blender, and we're pretty much out of tooth. We've saturated the page as much as we're going to saturate it. So at this point, what we're trying to do is we're just trying to eliminate any lines that may be left behind or any white spot that may be left behind. Now you can use a blender, you can use your finger, you can use the white, that sort of thing. I don't suggest using the white on a dark skin, but you can definitely do so if the white is very translucent. And I apologize for missing last week's lesson. That's one of the reasons why we're doing two today, because my printer wasn't working, and they said they would have ink to me by the end of last week, and it finally came yesterday. I was not happy. All right. Now another thing that I was going to ask during this tutorial and that sort of thing is if you want, leave me a comment below the video if you're willing to do private lessons, if you want to do private lessons and do that as a commissioned time slot. Basically, right now I need to make something of a living, um, and unfortunately nobody's hiring me. So, in order for me to make a little bit of a living, um, would you guys be willing to do commission tutorials? A week, or once a week, or once a month, of showing you something specific that you want to learn. If that is something that you would like to do, please leave me a message in the comments below the video, or you can send me a direct message via email or Instagram, that sort of thing, um, and I'll get back to you. I'm not sure um, what to charge and that sort of thing. I guess that will all depend upon what others are charging and what is available for people coming and hanging out and doing that. All right, so there we are with our dark skin tone. Now I've repaired it as much as I can up here. Unfortunately, I can't repair that any further. Actually, I might be able to do one more thing to bring that color down just a little bit. And yeah, number 31. So number 31 is a chocolate hazelnut spread, so it's a much darker than the darkest color that we used. But it doesn't have as much red. So it's not going to turn as orange when we go over this area. like so. So I've toned that yellow down a little bit by using a darker brown. Now I've already burnished this, I've already blended it, so it's not taking a lot of the color, but it is taking enough to calm it down just a little bit. And then we'll go like this and see how much of it stays. All right, so the next color that we used was number 21, which is this one here. And then this one here. Let's do corrector. And it does have a little bit of a purple in it, which blends into the purple that we had there. So number 31 as our corrector. And then this one here as well. All right. So on our base, we have 63, 19, 17, and 71. On our top coat, we have 24, 21, and 71. Now our corrector from doing the yellows, don't do those, is number 31. So those will give you that corrector if you already used the yellows. All right, so that is our dark skin tone. Now her eyes are going to drive me crazy, so let's fix those with this one here. So for her eyes, I'm using number 23. And number 20. So number 23. And number 20. Then come back with number 23. Like so. All right, so there we have the dark skin tone. Now for our fantasy skin tone, we're going to let's see how long have we've got a few minutes. So we're going to do a very, very simple fantasy skin tone on her. So we're going to start off with our peach tone. And this is just the start. So we're just putting a very, very light layer of this on her face. Now she has little cat ears here, as well as, you know, different um, plant areas behind her. Now I do believe that's hair. And her facial structure is very simple. So this is going to be a little bit more simple than, say, if you were doing a Christine Caron, which has some very intricate and different levels of detail in the skin and in the face. So because this is very minimal in the detail, we're just going to do a very limited bit of a skin tone. Now she has a bit of little sprite type things floating around her. So I'm going to decide that those are different colored lights. Okay, so we have one here, we have one here, we have one here, and then up through here. So these different different colored lights are closer to her face on this side. Now we're going to take the colors of those fairy lights and we're going to start putting them into her skin. So we're going to start with this one here as this big light here. Okay, so let's just throw that any old where. The first color that we're going to use is this one here, and that's number 71. Now we're going to come in through here, where that light is going to come in a little bit. Now the next one we're going to use is, let's see, let's do this one. I think, hold on. So that one was this one, and that's 110. Okay, so 110. So now we're going to do number 16. For this one here. And then we're going to do number 100 for this one here. We're going to come up into her hairline there. And we're going to blend all those colors together. Now her hair is also going to have these colors on this side. Alright, then we're just going to come over and just do little bits just to even it out a little so it doesn't look like it's a square, because it's not square. And we're just coming in to those areas just a little bit with that color. Then we're going to come back through. And we're going to blend and put this color in. Now on the other side, now there's not going to be a whole lot of light coming from the other side, but we're going to put a little bit of a blue glow. So we're going to use this. Yeah, we're going to use this one. And it's just going to be a small amount coming from this one here. we're not going to come in with a huge amount. We're going to go a little bit darker close to the glow and then fade it out into the rest of the skin tone. Now, the rest of the skin tone, and we're going to do a normal skin tone. So we're going to take number 51. We're going to come in through here and put in our shadow just like we would a normal skin tone. Same with up in here. And her little button nose. And up and through here as well. Alright, and then we're going to come in with number 13. We're going to blend into the colors from the light glows. And then we're going to take that pink tone again. So this is number 71. And we're just going to blend all that together. Okay. And then we're going to take our blender and we're just going to come through and we're going to blend that, softening it up a little. And eliminating the white spot. Now I am not great at fantasy skin. If you want to see somebody do a fantastic job of fantasy skin, of course, I would suggest watching Monia Gates as well as Christine Caron. Both do an absolutely fantastic job of fantasy skin. And in Christine Caron's books, she does have a lot of really intricate um, facial subjects that take the fantasy skin a lot better than just a little round face. But this gives you the idea of what you can do with a skin tone to give you that light structure and that glow of the different lights around her. Once we get to have her hair and everything else done up, it's going to look a little bit different because of the fact that it won't just be her face colored. There will be pink in her hair here, green in her hair here, and it will come all together. Now we've got that one, and then we've got this one for this side, which is 41, and then our deeper skin tones of 51 and 13, and then we're going to blend with this one here, which is again number 71. All right, so that gives us our fantasy skin tone. I'm going to take this purple and we're just going to do her eye color here. Take the darker purple. And once you get her clothing as well as her hair and everything else done, it is going to look a lot more, um, a lot better, a lot more cohesive and brought together. And it won't have that look of she's been slapped in the face. Um, but once you get her hair done and that sort of thing, it will look a lot better. And next week when we come back, we'll do one more skin tone on a page like this from Faber-Castell, and then we will come back to this page, add the hair and that sort of thing to these two pictures, and I will show you the difference between what it is here now compared to what it will be once we start adding those colors into the hair and everything else. All right, so those are the Brute Funer Dark Skin and Fantasy Skin. So of course, again, if you would like me to start offering um, private tutorial sessions, let me know. Again, you can put that in the comment section below the video. If you don't feel like doing that, you can of course message me on Instagram or through my email address. So feel free to contact me. Let me know what you think, and we will see what we can do on getting that together. All right, guys, with that, I would like to say thank you all very much for watching. Of course, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. And of course, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe. Until next time, bye-bye for now.